I mean, Helleseng conceded first blood. That's more deaths than Rux played in all of his games yesterday. The top lane, I think Wonder kind of donated kills to Ebby. You had Kennen looking good, Unicorn looking good, and it just kind of felt a little bit like DFM had possibilities, but unfortunately they weren't able to press their advantage further.
So, obviously, the big story for Fnatic, human and upset. For DFM, I think they look like themselves again.
Yeah.
Them beating Fnatic was always going to be tough, but after yesterday's game, the fact that they're able to stay even with Fnatic for 20 minutes, I think that's a cool sign. But Humanoid and Upset were not going to lose this game.
But that's the thing, right? Talking about the early game, it felt like DFM had a chip on their shoulder. They really wanted to have a strong performance, especially against a team that no one expected them to do well versus, and they did. But as you can see from that gold graph, even when the kills were being ramped up for Detonation Focus Me, the gold wasn't really changing that much.
I mean, Wonder did have a lot of CS despite conceding the deaths.
Yeah.
Upside wasn't in the advantage. I mean, the entire game, Humanoid was bullying, and once they hit 20 minutes, got those 2 or 3 items, that's when Fnatic took over.
That's it. And it's funny because a team that can fall behind, we see it a lot from the major region teams, that if you fall behind in a way, still, your players are good enough to keep up in CS for the most part. And then when it comes to major objectives, you're setting up for it a better.
I mean, chronically, you love this team fight from Fnatic.
No. I know you were going to do this to me, Trevor. This is exactly the core difference between most of the major region teams and why, even if the laning phase goes well, minor regions will struggle. It's because single overextensions like this can instantly be game-ending, and the only team that has actually done this on major region teams is Mad, and they still won their games.
Yeah, so the team fights looked pretty bad, mostly because Fnatic at this point had already gotten the gold lead. I felt like the tides were turning off second Rift Herald, actually. Detonation Focus Me were setting up for second Rift Herald, but then, Kennen was forced back to base. The Victor was bot lane, so they had 3 people. When Fnatic rolled up with 5, they're like, oh, I guess we're walking away from this.
I'm going to say this now, that I was disappointed with Fnatic's first 20 minutes of this game in comparison to what we saw yesterday in the first 2 games. Ultimately, it didn't really have a meaningful impact, and just like Chronicle was saying, the difference in sort of